At 6 months, my son, Elijah Alavi Hafiq Thomas Silvera, we first noticed that he was allergic to strawberries at that age. Um, then, every time we introduce him to something new, we noticed that he's become allergic to that. That there have been times that we either take him to the emergency room, in which they treated him for the allergic reaction. Sometimes, it became very worrisome because we had no idea what he was allergic to. Until we actually done an allergy test on him, which we found out that he was allergic to dairy, definitely allergic to dairy, nuts, shellfish, assorted of fruits from grapes, all berries, mangoes, you name it, he was allergic to it. So in the times of him being born and as he was growing, we had to change our lifestyle. It wasn't just him that was allergic. His older brother was also allergic to many sorts of other foods as well. So my family and I, we had to make a lot of lifestyle changes in terms of eliminating dairy from the home, anything with nuts. We only kept a certain amount of fruits in the house that which both our sons were able to eat, especially Elijah. Elijah was allergic to so many things, so we basically had to become very mindful of where he goes, what he touches, not just in our home, but also in whatever school or daycare that he would attend, or family or friend's house that he was attending as well for a play date. So back in November 3rd, I received a phone call from my wife at the hospital, which he was rushed to from the school that he was at. The school that he was in gave him something that he wasn't supposed to eat, which he was definitely allergic to. The sandwich that he was given a sandwich that was a grilled cheese sandwich, which later on had him go into anaphylactics and rushed to the hospital, which he had then passed on from then. The whole, as hard as this for me to even do, the whole thing I want people to know is that be aware of the signs and symptoms of a person having an allergic reaction, from a scratchy throat, hives on the skin. There are many factors to go into that, so you have to really do your research and research very thoroughly on what these allergic signs and symptoms are, so you can be aware and mindful of what to look for in anybody from a young child to an adult. These reactions can happen immediate or they take time, and they're not just external, they're also internal, which can infect you as well and cause it can cause respiratory distress as well as cause complications further on. So being a key factor is like there are over 15 million people in this world that suffers from allergies, and the numbers are astronomically growing from there unless we do something and find a way to treat the symptoms immediately or help find a cure for that. And if you're new to this and you find out that your child is allergic to something, definitely get your child tested for many different other allergies as well. You're going to have to make drastic lifestyle changes in your home as well, not just for that child, but also for the whole family. So these are the things that you have to keep mindful of, especially when you're dealing with a child who is definitely allergic to certain foods. You have to be aware of everything that they eat. You have to look and read on the ingredients, ask people what are in their foods, because sometimes some of these foods that you eat out there, they will not list or label what is in it. So if your child's allergic to dairy and the food doesn't list dairy and it has it, that can be very detrimental. Also, anything that has to do with made in a factory that produces peanuts or tree nuts, those are the things you have to be mindful of and stay away from. So it's a very drastic change that you have to make with your life. Dealing with my son Elijah, it is hard for us to not have him with us, but the important thing is to create the awareness, create the voice of my son to make sure that everyone is aware of the signs and symptoms, and get trained, become aware. go to your websites, wherever it is that you need to go to in order to inform yourself of these symptoms and anything that can definitely be helpful, because you won't just be saving your child's life, you'll be saving others just for being a part of understanding and knowing the signs and symptoms of anaphylactic and allergic reaction. Thank you.